Okay, so let me go through and review the active trades and of course some of the pending trades while we are canceling them. Okay, so this one here is New Zealand CAT. Okay, so you can see we were tagged in, and yesterday we did talk about it and say that if the market doesn't give us that impulse move down, likely this trade is not going to play out because again, if this is going to be a diagonal and it's going to go, we want it to go fast, right? So it didn't happen, and this trade will be out with this stop here about 40 pips, okay? So the idea again is important to manage your risk, okay? Never throw everything or too big a portion of your capital into a single trade. Okay, so this one here we're out. Okay, the whole analysis actually is still intact. Okay, the stops were pretty tight, so that's why we were tag in, tag out. But the entire piece of structure here, I'm still personally looking to be interested in the short. Okay, from the daily point of view, of course, this is still not much of a change. It's still going up, but it's slowing down. Okay, so right now I'm still looking for the short. Okay, but because we are out of one trade, right? So generally you want to be either number one, be a little bit more conservative, okay, or you can still look for the next opportunity, which is the next potential breakout around the zone, around 9095, right? Okay, around 9095, which is where that this previous low is. With a stop of 9160. Okay, so that's something that you can consider. Okay, so I'll put this in. Okay, I'll put this trade in because it's still valid. The target right now will go at 8890. Okay, this trade is still valid. But of course, again, whenever we take a diagonal breakout trade, is a reversal trade. You want to understand that is more of an aggressive approach. Okay, so if you're someone who is more conservative, then the ideal way is to wait for an impulse, okay, and then you enter after this correction happens. Okay, so for me, I'll put this trade in. This is the only pending order that we have. Okay, yesterday market didn't really move much, right? So if to get this whole thing updated, the position is still valid. Okay, if I update my drawing just a little bit, this is how it looks like. Okay, again, the trend lines are there for visual purposes only, right? The entire structure never changed. So this trade, this pending order here, we'll just leave it as it is. Okay, nothing needs to be updated. The entire trade is still valid. Okay, we'll keep it there. This New Zealand CAT just got in, all right? Just tagged in this morning. Okay, so let's take a look at the chart. Okay, this is how it's playing out right now. Okay, pretty good as of now. What I'm seeing over here in terms of price, we are seeing this as a push down pretty sharp. Okay, and we anticipating this to continue going because of this diagonal structure, right? Okay, right now we are up by about, I think, 10 pips. Okay, that's really nothing. Okay, and what I would suggest is you want to keep an eye on this today anyway, because we do have the Canadian news coming in later, right? In terms of employment data, that's going to create some volatility. Okay, so some common questions that traders might have, including yourself, might be asking that, so should I exit this trade before the news, or should I just let this trade run? Okay, to answer that question, you need to first, of course, understand it goes both ways, right? In the world of finance, there's no certainty. So I want you to imagine, like, if this just continue, I need to take this away. It's blocking me. Okay, if this just continue, right? What you can do, of course, is you can shift. If this gives you ample room, let's say about 30 pips of profit, right, before the news comes in, you can shift your stops to break even. Okay, and I want you to understand that there are two possibilities of what can happen, right? The news create volatility. It can actually spike you up and then continue moving down. Okay, and of course, it can also immediately from here starts to go down. Okay, or of course, it can also just bounce back up, right? So these are the possible scenario that can happen. And there's no like best answer. There's also no way I will know what will happen. Okay. So the idea here is you want to analyze based on these situations, which decision are you most comfortable with? Okay, so the idea here is news volatility can give us the impulse that we want. Okay, so I repeat that. I want you to understand this perspective. News itself can give us the volatility and the impulse that we are looking for. So a lot of traders are afraid or getting too worried about news happening. Okay, but those are the factors also that is driving price. Okay, so you need to be comfortable with that. Of course, you need to do your risk management very well. Okay, I'm not saying that you blindly just trade the news. Okay, so the idea here is, again, I can't give you an answer or a right answer as to what you should do, but the idea here is, of course, right now is really too small, right, to move our stops. But if this continue to move off in the London market, giving us a buffer of about 30 pips or so or more, okay, you can easily shift your stops to break even, and let's just see how far this trade can go. Right? So hope that's clear. Okay, so as of now, really nothing much this trade. We're just gonna leave it there.